Hello, everybody. Welcome to Lunchtime Detroit Lions Talk, brought to you by the Belly Up Sports Network. And today we're going to talk about the Super Bowl a little bit, but more importantly to us Lions fans, Megatron gets in the Hall of Fame, first ballot Hall of Fame wide receiver. That does not happen very often. It just shows you how great he really was. And as the thumbnail says, we're going to get into a bunch of stuff about mending fences, and hopefully he goes into Canton as a Detroit Lion. So we're going to go over a bunch of that stuff. We got the question of the day. We got your comment cards. We've got all this stuff today. Dessert with Kurt. And speaking of Kurt, I'm going to go to him right now.
What up, though? Welcome to the show, people. You know who we are. We are Detroit Lions on the Prowl. Your home for Detroit Lions news and rumors. And as always, subscribe to the channel. Join the family. You can join us weekdays, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the premieres of our show right here on our channel. And you can chat with the staff of the show right there during the premieres. And if you want to get your comments right up front, you can do a super chat. And it is so great to see my man, Calvin Megatron Johnson, in the Hall of Fame. Let's get this thing started
right now.
Let's go.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. And now we're going to get right into the meat of the thing today. The main course, Megatron, Hall of Famer, time to mend the fences. He went into the Hall of Fame Saturday night. What an exciting time. But he says this he said, myself and team owner Sheila Ford Hamp had a great conversation, had great conversations recently per Kyle Meinke of MLive. It's been good to get to know her and just really sit down and have those face-to-face discussions. So I think we're moving in the right direction. And that does well with me because I want to see him go into the Hall of Fame as a Lion. Mm-hmm. What I mean by that is, if he puts the hat on and everything from the Lions, I don't think he would do that if this was still a broken relationship. I think he would go with a generic Hall of Fame hat and that's it. I really do.
Yeah, it's good to see that Sheila Ford Hamp is really taking the helm and taking charge of the situation. And some people would probably leave that up to maybe Rod Wood, the team president, but she, as the owners, is talking to him face to face, and you can see that's a change from some of the past regimes in the Lions where they had people do stuff for them as owners, where she's taking it as a personal journey to mend that fence with Calvin Johnson.
Absolutely.
I'm very excited about that. Let's get into this, his Hall of Fame career. So the highlights on Saturday, of course, this is a quick story. When I saw Barry Sanders on the screen, my wife thought I was crazy because I just said, yes. And I put my arms up because of the fact that I knew that Calvin Johnson had been selected. So Johnson joins former Michigan great Charles Woodson. Go Blue. We got to shout him out. Quarterback Peyton Manning. Wide receiver, long overdue, Dallas Cowboy Drew Pearson, guard Alan Faneca, safety John Lynch, longtime Steelers scout Bill Nunn, and former Raiders and Seahawks coach Tom Flores in this year's class.
Yeah, Megatron, it was amazing to see him go into the Hall of Fame first time. And he only had to do that once, which is great. But the man known as Megatron played his entire 9-year career for the Lions, and what a short career it actually was for me. I think that he retired way too soon at 30 years old. He holds every significant record the franchise has to offer, and everybody should know that. But finishing his career with 731 catches, 11,619 yards, 83 touchdowns. He's a 6-time Pro Bowler in his 9-year career.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
3-time Pro Bowler, member of the NFL's all-decade team for the 2010s to the 2020s. Johnson was among the first year finalists this year, joining Peyton Manning, Woodson, Jared Allen, and I'm on a quest to go through this process only once, and he did.
Right.
Only
once. And look at that stat. You had 4 first-time finalists this year that was like on their first ballot. and 3 of the 4 made it.
Wow.
The only one that didn't make it was Jared Allen. That's crazy. And I would say this, it kind of tells you how the voting process has kind of changed over the years, because you're getting some younger voters in there, and the process is really changing. They don't have a lot of the get off my lawn guys.
Yeah, I agree with
voting,
that.
voting anymore. All right. Like I said, man, when I saw Lions great Barry Sanders on the screen, he welcomed Johnson to the Hall of Fame in a video, which showcased when David Baker surprised Calvin Johnson at his home with the word of his induction. Baker is the Hall's president and CEO and is known for surprising each year's inductees. Is usually down at the Super Bowl the night before, but of course he had to travel all over the place. And one thing is that the Lions, let's talk about mending fences, the Lions PR department was the ones who set up the video shoot for Baker at Calvin's home.
That's great. That's amazing news.
And another good thing about Barry Sanders and Calvin Johnson, they are the only 2 Madden cover athletes for the Detroit Lions.
Wow. So while Johnson was playing, no other receiver caught more passes for more yards or averaged more yards per catch. He set the NFL's single season record for yards. He broke Jerry Rice's record with his 1,964 yards in 2012, turning in one of the most impressive 3-year runs in league history. While injuries helped nudge him out of the game, Johnson still went out with 88 catches for 1,214 yards and 9 touchdowns in his final season.
Wow. That's crazy. And that's like, you can tell that he had, to have those numbers in a final season, you can tell he had plenty left in the tank. Johnson becomes the 17th player to make the Hall that played either their entire career or a significant part of their career with the Detroit Lions. That's crazy. Only 17 players in the Hall of Fame that have played their career with the Lions, or most of it with Detroit. His size, coming out of his combine, 6'5", 239 pounds. He ran a 4.39 in the 40 at the combine, leaping 42.5 inches in the vertical jump. Relentless competitiveness to put all of those traits together on the playing field. I mean, when you saw him at the combine that year, it was bananas. I mean, people were going crazy looking at him and looking at his size, and to be honest with you, a lot of people didn't really know about Calvin Johnson coming out of college because of the fact he played at Georgia Tech, which is what they played, that run style, that, wishbone type of offense. And he just came out and balled out. A lot of players, he wanted to play in Atlanta, where he's from, in the Atlanta area. He didn't want to go to Georgia. He wanted to stay at home and play for Georgia Tech. And for him, for a receiver, that's pretty big to play in a run system and come out and have this type of career in the NFL.
Yeah, there was 2 people that were up for first or second in the draft that year. So it was the Raiders had the number 1 pick. The Lions had the number 2 pick that year. And whoever they didn't get, we were going to get. So they picked Jamarcus Russell. We picked Calvin Johnson.
Thank you.
The rest is
goodness.
We really appreciate you, LA Raiders.
Thank you, Raiders. Yeah, it was LA Raiders back then. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Raiders.
Roy Williams, budding Pro Bowl wide receiver for the Lions, took one look at the physically imposing rookie and put the Megatron tag on Johnson. Yes, it was Roy Williams who put the Megatron label on our Calvin Johnson. Calvin had 7 seasons with at least 1,000 receiving yards, including the last 6 in a row. Oh, man.
Wow. That is bananas. All right. I mean, you read this stuff, and we've watched him play, but to kind of really get into the meat and potatoes of the stats he put up in his career is just bananas.
It really is.
Johnson is the 7th receiver selected to the Hall of Fame on the first ballot, which is crazy. The 3rd in the past 25 years and the 1st in the modern era Lions player elected since Barry Sanders, who was also a first ballot Hall of Famer. And here is the really meat and potatoes, and this is really frustrates me about some Lions fans, that that really get on. Oh, Calvin should just don't worry about the money. And dude had all those stats, and he only played two winning seasons in Detroit.
Mm.
2 winning seasons in Detroit.
We talk about Matthew Stafford a lot here, and we talk about Calvin Johnson and Barry Sanders and, and all these great players that have played here. But with all those great players, we just can't get it done.
Can't get it done.
And that
2 winning seasons.
Me. Yeah,
and
that bothers me.
Every dime that every dime that he got and he should have kept, he earned for the amount of work he put in for Detroit. I mean, I don't know how many times that I saw on the injury report where Calvin Johnson didn't even practice. He just played the game on Sunday. He did the final walkthrough on a Saturday and played in the game on Sunday.
Yep, he certainly did. Oh, and speaking of games, they played one yesterday. Some minor game. I don't remember exactly.
I don't know. I think I watched one yesterday. I don't know what that was. That was not
Super Bowl. We're gonna give our little thoughts on it. My thought was, congratulations to Brady with his 7th Super Bowl. But the thing is I honestly thought they were, I'm not going to say handed the game, but goodness gracious, Buccaneers get 6 first downs via penalty and are already the most for any team in a Super Bowl. It's the most first downs ever got by penalty.
You know what? They're the first NFL team to ever play the Super Bowl in their home stadium.
That's true.
And they got the home field advantage for real.
For real.
I would say this. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be. Even without the penalties, I think that Buccaneers defense really just dominated. They had those injuries on the offensive line for the Chiefs, just left Mahomes just scrambling. And the way that the defense adjusted from the first game they played on Thanksgiving to what they played, that defense, especially that secondary, holding the cheetah to basically really be a non-factor.
That's crazy.
That was excellent, and they just really kept Mahomes on the run. He couldn't do anything what they had. He's running around, and then they have the receivers covered. So it was a big shout out to Ty Bowles.
That was defense. Interesting defense because he's bringing corners and then letting the safeties pick up it was a really well-designed defense and a lot of pressure.
And my man Sue got his Super Bowl ring. I was happy for Sue.
I'm happy.
And then he got a half a sack as well. I'm happy for Ndamukong Suh. And Ndamukong Suh, I mean, we talked about it the last show. We talked about how he, bigged up Detroit to Jared Goff. So shout out to my man Sue. I really miss him in the Honolulu blue and silver. But congratulations to him. Congratulations to the Buccaneers. And one person, I know she probably got a little flack for the game, but congratulations to Sarah Thomas being the first female to be a referee in the officiate Super Bowl. That's amazing. And then look at Todd Bowles' staff, and to have those 2 ladies on their coaching staff and a very diverse coaching staff, to say the least. Shout out to those guys. They just really did it right. But to me, my player of the game wasn't Tom Brady. It was Todd Bowles and that defense. He was the MVP along with that defense. So shout out to those guys. It was amazing, but it really wasn't a game. I mean, that was probably the most boring Super Bowl we've had in the last probably like 5-6 years.
The one other thing coming out of that game is Gronkowski to me.
Oh, Gronk, man, good game.
They set a record for Brady and Gronk that they have the most touchdowns of any duo in the Super Bowl now.
Is that 14, something like that now? Yeah, because he broke it with 13. The first one, the first one they broke it with, it was 13, and then they got another one which is 14. So 14 playoff touchdowns between that duo. It's ridiculous. It's
amazing. And he said he would retire before going to Detroit. So it's just, we got to get this thing turned around. I think we're in the right direction.
I think we're going to go in the right direction.
I hope we're going to a Super Bowl and not just buying tickets.
I hope we're playing. We're playing the Super Bowl, man. But you know what though, and to your point before we move on, you have to look at those franchises. last year was the first Super Bowl victory in 50 years for the Chiefs, and the futility that the Buccaneers had forever. You know, they were the first team. One of the first team with the bags on their heads. So
but the Bucs went out and got talent. And that's what the Lions
went out and got
do. They got Brady. They went and got Gronk out of retirement. They went and got Brown. They went and got Antonio Brown. Look at all these players, and Ndamukong Suh, players with a little jaded history too, by the way.
Yeah, they put a good team together and a good coaching staff. Yeah, they built it around, and I think that's what we're doing in Detroit. We're building a good coaching staff, and some of that same blueprint that they have in Tampa is what we have here. Position coaches that played the game, so we're doing that same type of model here in Detroit with Dan Campbell's staff. So look at Byron Leftwich, former quarterback in the NFL. So look at our quarterbacks coach,
Mark Brunell
with Brunell, and then Anthony Lynn, former running back. So hey, we're putting together a staff, and we think we're doing it the right way. And I think that model that Bruce Arians has down there in Tampa is one of those things that's in consideration for Dan Campbell's staff.
Up next is news and rumors, but first we're going to go back to Kurt real quick for some messages for you guys.
Hey, it is us right here. You know who we are. We are Detroit Lions on the Prowl, your home for Detroit Lions news and rumors. And you can check us out over on the Belly Up Sports Podcast Network. You can catch our show right over there. If you can't watch our videos, you can go to the link below and download the audio version of this show. If you can't catch it live, like I said, or you can go over on Belly Up and check it out over there, and you can listen to them on what? Skull Candy headphones. You can go over to the link in the description and get a good deal on some Skull Candy audio products. And a proceed, not all of it, but a proceed of those earnings from that sale of those headphones go to help us growing this show. Now it is time to go over to news and rumors. Jim, what you got first?
We got the top 5 cap casualties for the Detroit Lions. If we want to save some money on the cap, these are the people that could be, and some of them absolutely should be cut. So who's the first guy there?
All right. If the Detroit Lions choose to release defensive tackle Danny Shelton, it will cost them about a $1.25 million in dead cap money for the 2021 season, and save the organization about $4 million. As you can see, this transaction isn't one that will free up a lot of money, but it's a good start. Shelton was a good player. The thing with him is that the fact that he was injured, but he's a stout defensive tackle. I think that he may be one of those guys who will need to go ahead and stay on the team. I'm not excited about getting rid of Danny Shelton.
If we went to a 4-3, yes, this move makes sense. But if we're going, from what I've heard, it's a 3-3-5. Am I correct in that?
That's correct. That's what
Danny Shelton.
We definitely need Danny Shelton in there and rotate him in with Pennicini.
Yeah, we're only getting $4 million from him. Yeah, no, I keep him. I keep him. The next guy, I get rid of him. I would take a loss to get rid of him.
I'll take the L on that one.
Detroit Lions could save $2.5 million in salary cap by releasing Christian Jones. No one in their right mind knows why Bob Quinn and the Detroit Lions decided to reward Christian Jones with a contract extension. You got to hear these numbers to believe this. Okay. So according to PFF, which is not the end all be all, but Jones produced an overall grade of 45.7 in 2012.
He's not even 50%.
Okay. And I'm not, you know what? I don't like the guy on our team. It's nothing personal. You just don't perform. And I'm going to show you that right now. That overall grade includes a 52.5 mark against defending the run, which isn't terrible, but 33.4 against the pass. Jones yielded an 80% catch rate throughout his career and never earned a grade better than 65. And we give him an extension.
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
And a lot of people thought Bob Quinn was good at stuff, and the draft, he wasn't terrible, but some of these other moves, it just didn't make any sense.
Yeah. All right, the Lions can save $9 million in cap space by releasing Justin Coleman. Justin Coleman cap's hit for 2021 is a whopping $11 million for next season. That after allowing 38 receptions on 45 targets last season. When the quarterback targeted Coleman in coverage, it was an automatic completions.
That's terrible.
Near perfect quarterback rating this season at 134. When targeting, he played out of position a lot of the year because of the injuries. I would say this: if he's willing to restructure his deal, that's the guy we're willing to bring back. If he does not, just because of his the cap savings that we can have with him, I think it may be time to move off Coleman. I do agree with that one.
I have to say this, and I'm hoping our secondaries coach can get the most out of these players. But out of 21 total players, Desmond Trufant was ranked 120, Jeff Okudah was ranked 115, and Coleman was ranked 111. That is just terrible.
Terrible. Our secondary played atrocious. Yep, it was as bad. Bad all around.
Awful. Okay.
Who's the next guy?
From the Wild Wild West, we could release Jesse James. We could save $2.1 million on the cap. Kind of interested to see what the GM does with this, and Dan Campbell do with tight end Jesse James. All signs point to a breakup between James after a back-to-back subpar season. After signing his $22.6 waste of space and money deal with a fifth-year club option. He's only been targeted 21 times, making 14 catches for a whole 129 yards and 2 touchdowns. I hate to say this, but he is very expendable in this offense right now.
He can go.
I don't know what his blocking stats are, because I know he's been kept into block quite a bit. So that potentially would help the run game. But I think we can get a better tight end in free agency that costs a lot less money than him. I really do.
Yeah.
I know. And TJ Hawkinson is amazing. So we don't need him.
Yeah. And last one is Nick Williams, which to me is expendable. The Lions can save $4.7 million in the cap space for releasing Nick Williams from a 2-year deal worth $10 million this past season. After landing his first lucrative deal coming over from the Bears, Nick Williams provided the Lions with just 23 total tackles, 1 sack, and 13 pressures in 2020, coming off his career year for the Bears. He had terrible production for a pass rushing interior lineman. He just not live up to the bill coming over from the Bears. I mean, Nick Williams is a no-brainer cut for me.
Yeah, no-brainer cut for me too. Totally agree. Let's look at some of we talked about this a little bit, but we're tracking the former Detroit Lions in the Super Bowl on Sunday. The most notable ex-Lion, of course, was Ndamukong Suh. Really happy for him getting a ring, to be quite honest about it. But also on the defensive line was Pat O'Connor. While he never actually played for the Lions in a regular season, he kicked off his career in Detroit as an undrafted free agent in 2017. And again, we couldn't see talent, so we let him go. The Buccaneers plucked him off the practice squad after week 1 of that rookie season. Jeremiah Ledbetter was the Detroit 6th round pick in 2017, played 16 games in his rookie season, and then we gave up on him, of course. And Drew Stanton, who is still actually in the league. And
I didn't know he was in the league. I did not know he was in the league.
He's the emergency quarterback for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He started 4 games in 3 seasons. It's huge in Detroit. He's just been a journeyman and not really all that great of a quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah. All right. It's amazing. Okay. I didn't know he was in the league. All right. The last one is a phenomenal shoot your shot moment. The Lions asked for Aaron Donald in the initial trade talks with the Rams. Per a report, Adam Schefter, the Lions began the negotiations by asking for Rams All-Pro defensive tackle Aaron Donald in return for Matthew Stafford. That probably got a big chuckle out of Les Snead. Donald won the Defensive Player of the Year honor in 2020 and 2021. He is probably the most impactful defensive players of the past century. Yeah, the Lions, I'll have to give it to my man, Brad Holmes. The Lions shot their shot, said, hey, you want Stafford, give us Donald. And they were like, yeah, no. But
we'll find something else.
That helped them get the 2 first-round draft picks and Jared Goff. Having that negotiation start that high, you start high, that's the tool of a good negotiator. You always start high and then you work your way down. You go well and above and beyond of what you want, and then you can work your way down to what you think you can really get.
Yeah, my take on this is another thing on Brad Holmes and the new front office. We're going for the big names. We don't do that. When Khalil Mack was available, game Chicago, we didn't even get in on that, I don't think.
Nope.
Ramsey, another one that I wanted for this Detroit Lion team.
Yeah, definitely.
The big names come out. We're not involved in it at all.
Yeah.
Our first-round picks are so much more valuable, I don't agree with that whatsoever, but I want to get some impact players in here to go with the people that we're going to be drafting that are going to become impact players. We need so much talent on this team. It's crazy. And to shoot your shot for Aaron Donald right away.
Yeah. Hey, shoot your shot, baby. You miss on 100% of shots you don't take. So you got to shoot your shot. You know what I'm saying?
Wayne Gretzky said that.
Yep.
From hockey.
Yeah.
It's weird that I know that, but anyway. Yeah. Okay, let's go to your comment cards and stuff like that. Antonio Harris, y'all think we're keeping Goff? Okay, stay tuned. Dan prefers a mobile QB. We only made this trade for picks. Goff was not really in the plans for the future, and he will not be on our team for long. I completely 100% disagree with you. Absolutely not.
Dude, that one was coming. Yeah. With that contract, he's just going to be there for 2 years.
Yeah, this is a Brad.
He's going to be there for 2 seasons.
I think he gets an extension, and I think that we're gonna backload Matt. I think too, so we have a little bit more money. If not, if he doesn't get extended, he's out in 2 years. Just watch for the extension. If he gets the extension, I think we're in a good position quarterback wise. I think because we can keep Goff for 2 years. Then he no money at all. And we could still draft a quarterback to sit under him for a year, maybe even a year or two.
Yep. Definitely.
In this draft or maybe the next one.
I see that. All right. Zach J says, I love any trade down scenario. When you have so many needs like we do, the quickest way to get back on track is drafts capital. Not only can you address more of your needs, but you can also have more chances to hit on those picks. Man, one thing I can say about Brad Holmes and his draft record out there in LA, he knew how to scout in those middle rounds because the LA Rams haven't had a first round pick in about 8 years. So
yeah, absolutely. So William Fitzpatrick says, New England at 15, I think they want Mac Jones and it could get us an extra second. Ooh, that's a long way to drop, to be honest. I don't know. It's not too far to where you can't get a good player. And you just mentioned they didn't even have first round picks. So this is kind of a luxury for Brad Holmes.
Yeah, that's kind of a luxury. Yeah.
I don't mind that trade, but I would want a lot more than just a second.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Gary DeRuiter. Okay, that's how you say a name. I think they will trade back more than once and get the right tackle with our first pick so we can run the ball and keep Goff upright.
I like the idea of getting the right tackle. I don't see us trading back twice. I don't. Nah. It's difficult to trade back once and get value and not go down so far that you're just trading away a lot of value. But like I said, we've mentioned this over and over now that Brad Holmes is good with late round picks. So we're good with that.
Definitely.
Justin Smith. He says, trade away Trey Flowers. He hasn't done anything for real. Trey Flowers had a shoulder injury. He's had a bunch of injuries. Things go wrong. When he's on, he's playing pretty good. I didn't think he was terrible.
He's going to be a big cap hit with that contract.
He's going to be a big cap hit. I don't think we trade him this year.
Yeah, I mean, he's been injured, but yeah, when like you said, when he played, he has some pretty good years. All right, the last one, Trevor Taylor says, I hope you two guys are right, but I think the only difference is social media. I haven't heard all this stuff before or 50 years, and let's not forget that Ford is still running the business. The one common denominator is she is a Ford business as usual with flashy hires. What flashy hires did Martha Ford Firestone have? Bob Quinn was not a flashy hire.
No, this is completely different.
Yeah, this is definitely complete. I really, you're entitled to your own opinion, Trevor, but the way that the team is structured and the way that everything is structured in Detroit right now is totally different than what we've ever seen before in the Motor City.
Absolutely.
As far as the Lions, the way that their leadership is structured right now in Detroit, I don't agree with you 100% at
1,000%. I don't agree.
I don't agree with you at all, my man. But like I said, hey, you're entitled to your own opinion, but yeah, nah. Hey, it's time for the question of the day. What you got, Jim?
Do you think Calvin Johnson goes into the Hall of Fame as a Detroit Lion? What I mean by that, does he put on the hat? I think he does now. And this question was kind of, before when the fences weren't mended and they're still not there yet. So what do you think? Do you think Calvin Johnson goes in the Hall of Fame as a Detroit Lion? I think absolutely yes. But there's that question.
There's a couple of things that needs to happen first. I think he needs to go into the and here's the deal. What usually happens for most people, for most teams, he usually will get his Honolulu Blue Jacket first, go into the Lions Ring of Honor and retire his jersey.
Absolutely. I agree with both of those things.
Happen. The things should happen. If he schedule those things, it's a no-brainer.
I agree with that, and I think there'll be Calvin Johnson Day next year. I really do.
Give him his cheddar back too.
Yeah, give him his money. Pay the man. Money. I don't care if you say, "Oh, we're going to make you the ambassador of the Detroit Lions," or give him some position and pay that money to him. I don't care. Give him the money back somehow. If you don't want to eat crow, create a position. Give him the money. Whatever you got to do.
Yeah.
Now it is time for my favorite part of the show, the dessert with Kurt.
Well, Calvin Johnson joins an elite group of players at the Hall of Fame. He's one of a handful of players that actually goes into the Hall of Fame under the age of 35. So he's one of the elite players that goes at 35 or younger that go into the Hall. That is amazing. Think about that. Most players are well into their 40s, when they go into the Hall of Fame. But Calvin Johnson is only 35 years old and he goes into the Hall of Fame. That blows me away. Bananas. And one other thing, we talked about the video earlier that when he got his notification from David Baker from the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Here is something that is you may not know. The video was actually done in January. David Baker, because of COVID, he had to leave right after the votes were tallied to go and surprise the Hall of Fame inductees by plane because he had to go to each person. It wasn't allowed where those guys were down at the Super Bowl the night before and they got their knocks on the door. No, they went out. Because of COVID protocol, he flew to each person to notify them of their selection. So they had to keep that secret from January until Saturday night. That's crazy. That is crazy. And the Lions knew and they never announced it. So,
Yeah, there's some good stuff going on between Calvin Johnson and them. There's also some good stuff going on now at Detroit Lions on the Prowl because we are an audio podcast as well. You can take us on the go. If you're working out, you want to take a walk, you want to be in your car, you have a long drive, you can take us with you every day. You can follow us on Spotify. You can subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, and we would appreciate it if you do so.
Yeah, thank you. All right. You know who we are. We are Detroit Lions on the Prowl. Your home for Detroit Lions news and rumors. And as always, subscribe to the channel. Join the family. You can join us weekdays, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday, right here on our channel for the premieres of our show. You can chat with the staff of the show right there during the premiere. And if you want to get your comments right up front, you can do a super chat. And if you want to be a super duper member of the team, you can become a member of the channel. You can check out the Join Now button on our channel and get those membership package deals. So go over there and check that out and become a super duper member of the family. And as always, comment on the videos, like the videos, share the videos, all of that helps us get this content to more Lions fans just like yourself. And again, congratulations to one Calvin Megatron Johnson for his induction into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And as you go about your day, whatever you do in life, you know what you got to do. You got to boss up, ball out, and be the best version of you that you can be. And happy 24th birthday to my man, Curtis William Steele III, my son. It is his 24th birthday today. Happy birthday, my man. You know Dad loves you, my man. Hey, thank you for tuning in. For my man, Jim, this is Kurt Steele, and we will holler at you real soon.